It's the most wonderful time of the year. Thunder fans crying and Wemby is killing and Foxes too. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful time. Thunder fans, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Thank you for the Christmas gift, Andrew. $20 super chat. What the heck? Thank you, bro. Regardless of what you guys donate. No, I don't mean to disrespect. I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for that. But regardless of what you give, nothing beats what I saw on that screen today. Nothing beats it. Not even close. Well, let me bring it down a little bit because I feel like my mic might be a little too loud. Is my mic too loud? Yo. Gave him the belt a third time. They had two opportunities to adjust, and it did nothing. Revenant says, wow, 3-0. Feel like their only option is Shai. That's what we boiled it down to. And even when it's just Shai, you got a good defender on you. Even when it's just Shai, you have to beat Castle. And Shai even get into a spot sometimes that's not even comfortable because Wemby's lurking. Man, bro. Thank you for the super chat, Revenant. And then Jedi Tricks. Thank you for the super chat. Merry Christmas, clan. We feasting good this year. Bro. Bro. Oh, Impeccable. What's up, Impeccable? What the heck? Impeccable's here. He said, Merry Christmas, bro. We applied belt. belt. Yes, we did, friend. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, something that made me feel gross, though. I heard, was it Chuck that said this? Dude, I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? I really do love Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, and everything they brought to the table, and the entertainment and the years that they've brought, the joy that they brought to my life watching basketball. But as far as analysts, they're the worst on TV, bro. Oh my God. Bro literally said he ain't his daddy yet. Dylan Harper isn't as good as Ron Harper. Are we for real? Ron Harper's the man. But are we for real? Are we serious? We really talking like Ron Harper is better than Dylan Harper? Are we for real? Strictly Entertainment, yeah, they're pretty bad. I don't even know where to start. You know what? I'm just gonna talk with my heart, okay? I'm just gonna talk with my heart. I'll just tell you guys how I'm feeling. So hold on. Okay, this game, it's cinematic masterpiece. I don't. You guys know I've been pretty reserved when it comes to our Spurs. I try my best not to be too crazy. I am an optimist. Over the years, I have been continuously optimistic. When the Spurs were at their worst, I was noticing stuff that Brian Wright was doing, and I said, hey, we're going to be really good in the future. When people were freaking out, I was optimistic, right? In this season, I came into it saying we could be 4th seed. I thought 4th seed was our ceiling, and I was comfortable with being at that 4th. Now it is completely shifted. I will be shocked if the Spurs don't end 2nd or maybe even 1st seed, how they're playing. Unfortunately for us, we're the only ones that can beat OKC convincingly, and they're going to win many, many other games. But my God, was that incredible. Before we talk about it, though, as we always do, got to shout out the sponsors real quick. So big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Just use the link below in the description box and use promo code CLAN. You'll get a 100% match up to $100. If you don't care about that whatsoever, if you go to the homepage here on the Sleeper app, you have so many different news cycles. You can see injury updates, you can see play-by-plays, you can see highlights, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to get away from the crazy social media stuff and just focus strictly on basketball, Sleeper is the app for you. So go check out Sleeper, link below. Some really good stuff over there. All right, so this game was absolutely beautiful. And what made this game beautiful, not only because we beat OKC, but it's the fashion in which we beat them. Last game, the Spurs beat them by 20 points. Wemby, minutes restriction, only had 12 points that game. And from my recollection, De'Aaron Fox only had 6. So you whooped on them while your 2 star players didn't even have crazy offensive performances. Then you go into this one, they have better performances. You're away, and it looked like the Spurs were the home team. When Keldon got that putback dunk, you could just feel the whole arena just give up. I mean, it was incredible, bro. We took their heart out after the first quarter. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. He says, on the last day of Christmas, the San Antonio Spurs gave to the fan 1 belt whooping, 2 belt whoopings, and a wet studded belting to OKC. Oh my God. But after that first, we're going to look at the stats in a minute. But after that first quarter, bro, you could see that the fans were depleted. You could see OKC was depleted. Like, it started off because I expected the physicality to come back tenfold, right? Because the Spurs have just been bullying them. Not only have you had Wemby, I don't think Wemby's really been disrespecting OKC, but they've been running with it. The media's been running with it, right? And teams and players going to take that personal. But he's been saying stuff like, hey, I like the fact that the Spurs were playing ethical basketball, right? We have him basically saying that there's no comparison between him and Chet as far as a rivalry. In other words, he's just that much better. You have Chet Holmgren coming out and them asking him, hey, what are your conversations with Wemby has been? We haven't even talked more than a sentence together. Like, you have so much talk around this rivalry that's becoming a thing. And you have Wemby bullying them not only off the court, but on the court as well. Like, if you think about that last game where he pushed Chet straight to the ground, they called the whistle, he stared him down and did a windmill dunk. Like, the mental games that Wemby plays on this team. Chet missing free throws and Wemby screaming out of his mind. There are so many mental games that the Spurs have been playing on OKC. And there's no hate toward, I'm going to keep making fun of OKC because they're OKC, right? I don't like, some of the foul baiting, and the fans sometimes irritate me, but I will give them credit in saying, like, they're super disciplined. They're a great defensive team, and they can whoop on just about anybody. But the fact that they don't seem to have that guy on the team that just brings that nastiness or gives them that, like, that edge, right? Makes them a little bit more edgy, because their superstar doesn't do it. SGA is very quiet to himself, and that's fine. You can be that. Like, Kawhi was like that. Tim Duncan was kind of nasty. He would say little stuff. Tim Duncan was quiet, but he would say little stuff. He would do something. But they're a little bit more low-key, but they don't have that guy, right, that does that. But the Spurs, they have that guy, one of which is on the bench, which is fine. but it's Wemby. Wemby's that guy. The fact that you have Wemby do that is crazy. He is nasty. He's like Kobe. You go into this game and you have the entire arena booing Wemby, chanting Wemby sucks, and you shut them up. They got quiet as a church mouse by this second half. Quiet. You even had OKC bringing back that physicality that we were dishing out to them. They brought it to us. That first quarter, I was like, oh, we got a game. But it's only so much you can do when we match up so well with them and we have so many weapons and you can no longer just double Wemby like you want to. When Wemby sees Chet on him, he sees barbecue chicken. He sees collard greens. That's what he sees. He sees pig's feet. He's feasting. He sees brisket. He sees cornbread. What do you do? But honestly, though, the Spurs just look so good mentally. You can't shake them. I don't know how many times OKC was grabbing us and holding on to Wemby and trying to force him or stop him from getting a block. I mean, it was one play that was just disgusting, which terrible turnover from Fox, mind you. Castle had a couple terrible turnovers too in the fourth, but Fox had a terrible turnover. But they didn't even allow him to get back on defense because Lou Dort just held onto him mid-court. There were so many fouls that they were committing on the Spurs, and it did nothing. We didn't slow down one bit. We don't complain. We don't cry to the refs. When Wemby went to the ref and was talking to him, you could see the play that he was talking about because he called it before it even happened. He said that, I think it was Harkenstein. He was like, Harkenstein is going to hold me. He said it to the ref. Harkenstein's about to hold me. Harkenstein holds him, and then the ref doesn't call anything. And then Wemby gets a foul on the other end. He wasn't crying about the foul. He's like, yeah, I fouled him. Yeah, forget about that. But look at what just happened on the other court. Like, pay attention, refs. But it never feels like we're stopping the game to complain. It never feels like that with us. They have a different mentality. They're going to beat you whether the ref's on their side or not. And you love to see it. But that whole like unethical basketball that Wemby was talking about, I definitely see it with OKC. I don't think OKC is a dirty team or anything like that, right? Like we've gone against much worse, right? Zaza Pachulia, so gross. Things that Draymond Green has done, so gross. So they're not on that level, but they do all this like slick stuff that they just get away with all the time. The holding, dude, was incredibly bad. Some of these fouls were so bad. I mean, we literally had Harrison Barnes bleeding from the head. And they didn't call a foul in that play. I mean, we have the last game of Lou Dort kicking his foot out after he takes a shot. We had in this game, SGA was trying to get to the line as much as he can. But Mitch Johnson took a page out of Popovich's book on what Popovich did when we used to have to go against James Harden. And he's like, show the refs your hands the whole time. Show them your hands the whole time. We saw him. We saw Dylan Harper doing it. We saw Steph Castle doing it. Steph Castle still ended up getting like 4 fouls. But like everyone on the team was doing it when they were at SGA. Look at my hands. Look at my hands. Because he's a foul baiter. And I don't think he got to the line that often. But forget all that. I've done a lot of yapping. Let's take a look at what the stats actually were, because all I know is Wemby was great. Hold on. I know Fox, I think Wemby had 19 points. Fox might have had 29 or something like that. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's go to React. There we go. So you guys can see. I can't just tell you. You got to see my screen. You know what I mean? All right, let's take a look here. Oh, just so much depth, guys. Guys, and this is what I was saying. Look at Devin Vassell in this game. Hold on. What was Devin Vassell's? He had 5 points this game. You remember when I told you? That inconsistencies from Devin Vassell is not going to be felt when we have this much talent? He had 17 last game, and he was a big part of it. Hold on. Actually, I'm going to take it a step further with Devin. Because with him being the third, fourth option, that's what makes him deadly. Because any given night, he can give you that work. Look at this. You don't feel it. Last year, you would have felt every game that he underperformed because he was our second go-to guy. This year, he's behind Dylan Harper as far as go-to guys. 5 points this game, and all of which are wins. 17 points before that. A terrible 27% before that with 11 points. And then 46.7%, 18 points. That's really good. 58%, 18 points. You don't feel it. Even against the Lakers, he went 2 for 10 and we won. You didn't feel it. He's been getting nothing but praise this season. And it's totally okay for him to be quite inconsistent at times because we got so much talent. And shoot, you even got Fox. Like I said, last game, he had like 6 points, right? Yeah, 6 points right there. So it doesn't really matter. But I just think that's really great. That just shows how much depth you have. That one player, even if Wemby has a bad offensive performance, it doesn't mean you lose. I could go as far as to say 2 or 3 players that get the ball consistently, can have bad games and you can still win. I mean, Champagnie, I think he was just garbage this game, right? Let me see. Champagnie didn't even hit a shot. Last season, we were solely relying on him. Didn't even hit a shot. Thanks for the super chat. Great win. Sohan really came to play. You know we were doing good when there's no DMP next to his name. GSG. Yeah, you know how I feel about Sohan. I think they can still find a way to get implemented. I don't know about this year. It seems as if Mitch isn't really finding room for him or Carter Bryant, but those are two like really good players you can start implementing. But right now, dude, the way that the Spurs playing and us being fully healthy and Wemby isn't even getting all his minutes right now, like I'm cool with it. If the Spurs don't want to do anything right now, I think that's totally fine. Because the only player, it's only one of two players right now where I can say I would like to see them get more minutes, and that would be Bryant and or Sohan, right? But other than that, like you're playing your roster. Like Dylan Harper is getting 20, Wemby got 26, Champagnie got 20 minutes, Keldon got 17, and then you got all your starters. Like I can't really complain with that. I don't think Kelly Olynyk has to get minutes, but I still think you could use them. But we're good. We're good. Like I'm not complaining. If the Spurs want to just go with this for the rest of the season, so be it. I mean, you're using quite a bit of your roster at this point. Not every team can say that they can go 9 players deep. So you're doing fine. I'm not even gonna complain if they want to just roll with this. But man, they look good. Another thing about the Spurs team too that I really love is they're starting to become more disciplined, man. I mean, what were the turnover numbers? Like Castle gave us 4 turnovers, which I just keep bringing up. He's not a point guard. He can play point, but he's not like a great point guard or anything. Even his passes is more so like the first read that he sees. But as soon as he tries to get fancy, as soon as he tries to make something happen, it's a bad turnover. But I would say Dylan Harper is going to be like the future point guard, right? That primarily has the ball in his hands, but that doesn't mean much. Like Castle, you can still play through him at times. He was great. Castle was great. All I have to say is Castle. This is definitely a team effort, but he is the biggest reason for this win streak. I think Castle's a huge part of it. But that's the thing. Everyone has a piece of this pie. If Castle, which I knock on wood, I don't want anything to happen. But if yesterday he had to go down for a couple games or whatnot, a few games, I have no doubt in my mind that the Spurs will be able to handle it. And that goes for any player on our team at this point, how well they're playing together. That goes for just about anybody. Shoot, even Wemby went down, we went 9-3. Man. Oh, that's a bold question. Clan, do you think that we're going to win the chip this year? I'm going to say this with my whole chest, dog. If the Spurs stay healthy and they keep doing what they're doing, we're not even halfway through the season yet, but the way that we're playing is winning basketball. Right now, I'm not feeling as if this is going to hurt us in the future the way that we're playing. Like I felt like earlier in the season when we were winning some of these games, it was like, yeah, felt more so we were winning off of talent, and we were winning off of like save me ball, hero ball, and just talent. Like, and it was like, I don't know, it's going to get really sloppy if this continues. But now the Spurs are playing like a unit. They're playing really well together. They're making the extra passes. And this is a Thunder team who's very good in discipline perimeter, on the perimeter. And the Spurs are finding a way to get everyone involved. Like, if you can keep this going, yes, the Spurs could win a championship. Like I said before, people want to say like, oh, are you too young, experienced? Thunder's a young team and they won. Of course we can win the championship. That's where I'm at now, bro. I just want to see how far we can take this. The only team that I don't want to see first round would be the Timberwolves. That's a team that I don't really want to touch, to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't think that's a good first round for us. If we can manage to not have to play them and play like an easier team, I think that would be better just to warm us up, because we've never been in the playoffs before, right? But yeah, I don't know. And then as far as I ain't even thinking about the finals right now. Yeah, it's not even thinking about that. But as far as teams in the West, that's the one that would worry me. One thing that I thought was really weird was, I brought this up before, and quite a few people didn't agree with me. Before the season started, I thought I still, well, I won't hold on to that. I mean, we could be first if we want. But I thought the Spurs be like fourth in the West. But one thing I brought up was, I thought that the West got worse this season, this off season. And a lot of people were like, no, they got better. And I'm like, how so? But as you can see, yeah, the West definitely has gotten worse. Let's see. 8th seed is 500. What was 8th seed last season? Yeah, 8th seed was almost 60% win percentage, whereas this year it's a 50% win percentage. Like, that's a massive difference. But yeah, the Spurs are battling out, man. We got a little bit of distance now on the Nuggets. Yeah, we play the Thunder one more time. We just look good, y'all. I really hope we get the Lakers, man. If we're second seed, Lakers probably gonna stick around where they're at. I'm cool with taking like the Rockets, Nuggets, or even the Warriors. I know like Warriors have had our number this season, but there was really no excuse for losing those. We should be able to figure that out. Now, also our perimeter defense. I haven't looked at like the stats on it, and I'll probably look at it later. But it feels as if our perimeter defense has gotten better as well, because that was actually our weakness for a big chunk of the season. Like, defensively, we could do our thing in the paint. Like, we were one of the best in the paint. But then perimeter defense was like one of the worst in the NBA, which was really weird because we have so many good perimeter defenders. But now it seems like everyone's doing so well. Everybody. Fox turns his brain off sometimes. Keldon doesn't turn his brain off, but Keldon sometimes is pretty slow on closeouts. But I don't know. Anyway, back to OKC. I think that the Spurs just have their number, bro. I think mentally they scar them. Like, I think the Thunder are low-key scared of going against the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs just they play with a certain level of toughness, a certain level of physicality, and then they have Wemby that just makes it very difficult on them. And where SGA likes to shoot, Wemby is always lurking. So it's just a really ugly. I'm sorry, I was looking over. You guys can't see it, but on the right, they're showing like little highlights, and it was showing that play where Wemby got the rebound and dunked and hung on the rim a little bit. So nasty. But yeah, he just sends a message to them. They play with a certain amount of confidence. And someone in the chat, when you brought up Castle, like Castle's a big reason. I agree with you. But let me say this. Let me say this about Castle. I've said this since day one, right? Any complaints that I have, it strictly comes down to the fact that I just don't think he's going to be like a primary point guard, which is okay. He doesn't have to be. But I will say this. He's a winner. There's a certain level of swag. CP3 coming to the Spurs really helped them because he instilled in them, and you know, he said it and everyone else started repeating it, is that you're supposed to win. Every game, that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. You're supposed to win. That's the bar. Yeah, we come in here, we're supposed to win. That's what you expect to do, right? That's Spurs culture in and of itself. We always just expect to win these games. You do what you got to do to win, but you expect to win. But Castle is one of those guys who's just a winner. He's not afraid of anybody. He's not scared of anybody. His confidence doesn't wane in the middle of a game. I love Derek White as much as I love Derek White over the years. That was the one gripe about him, is that he was someone who needed a lot of confidence instilled in him. Castle can make 15, like I said, 4 turnovers this game. I was never worried like, oh my God, he got 4 turnovers. Oh my God, it's going to get in his head. I never thought that. I just thought, I hope this don't bite us in the butt. But he is a guy who could get multitude of turnovers. He can get 15 turnovers in a game, and it does not weigh his confidence. It doesn't change his confidence. Same with Dylan Harper, and that just comes with being lottery picks as well, right? But these guys just don't. They don't start becoming unsure of themselves. It was great. Yeah, so when you have a game like this where it seems like OKC, it was Shai or bust, I just felt, oh, we're going to win this game. Because Shai is not going to be able to just beat us by himself. That's just not going to happen. I am scared of Anthony Edwards, though. For some reason, Anthony Edwards is just, he scares me. When he's on, he scares me. All right, chat, hold on. My sergeant? Is that what you're saying? Is an OKC fan? Can you cheer him up? Your sergeant? Is that what SGT means? Can I cheer him up? I'm not going to cheer him up. He can stay depressed. I don't care. Landlord from Alabama, thank you for the super chat. He says, salute clan. I'm so proud of my Spurs, man. As far as OKC go, I don't think they got enough firepower for us, but a team with a good defense and a better offense than OKC can be a problem for us. Who? You know, who? That's the crazy thing, is OKC just bullies teams, but for us, it's just too much. Anyways, Cap says, thanks for the super chat. He says, crazy to see, but pound for pound and player to player, we have OKC beat. We have the depth. They have the depth. The difference, the deciding factor is Wemby. I was talking to a friend about this. Actually, I was talking to Swishhill about this, and we saw things differently on this. He was telling me like how great SGA's defense is. SGA is a really good defender. Like, I'm not taking that away from him. He is a very good defender. But we were saying whether SGA would have been able to take that, because we were comparing him to Luka Doncic, and we were saying, would he be able to take that Mavericks team that Luka did to the finals? And I didn't think so. It was one of those questions where, is Luka's offense that much better than SGA, or is SGA's defense that much better than Luka Doncic's offense that he could propel them into the finals? I didn't think that his defense was so great till he could have took that team to the finals. SGA had a really tough time shooting the ball, and that's something that Luka just wouldn't have a problem with. But going into the playoffs, he really struggled from 3. But when the Spurs in this game had to started forcing him to take outside shots, I felt really good. Actually, I don't even know how many he took. It might have been just 2 or 3. Oh, he took 6. Sorry. Yeah, I thought it was like 3. He took 6. So he went 1 for 6 from 3. When the Spurs started forcing him to do that, I felt good. SGA, new nickname, FTA. That's good. That's a good joke. FTA. I'm not gonna ban you. I'm too much in a good mood today. I'm not gonna ban you for talking about my boy Sohan. But man, Spurs just so good, bro. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what my takeaways are. I said we'll look at the stats, but like every game is something different. Harrison Barnes this game, guys. My god. He was playing so well. I mean, 5 for 12 isn't the best percentage in the world, but I mean, you're right there at 50. I mean, 3 for 7 from 3 is perfect. Like, can't ask for more than that. He was awesome, dude. He was awesome. My only complaint about Harrison Barnes these games is just, hey, if he's not shooting and it's very obvious he's off, let's bench him. It's okay to do that sometimes. Luke Cornett was great. I'm still not crazy about the Luke Cornett and Wemby duo thing, the French vanilla stuff. I still don't think it's the best basketball, but it is what it is, I guess. I mean, they were still getting offensive rebounds on us with those two out there. What else? Any other standouts, guys? Keldon was great. Man, it feels so good to not have to like get on here and cry about Keldon. You guys have no idea how good it feels not to cry about Keldon. I don't enjoy crying about Keldon. I don't actually want to. He's been so great. Lakers and T-Wolves scare me, though. I'm not scared of the Lakers. Well, I'm scared of Luka, but I'm not really that scared of the Lakers. I think mentally, when we played them and they just kind of in the cup and they just kind of turn off defensively the way they did, I'm not really afraid of them. The Timberwolves are one where they're mentally tough, and they could very well have our number. Like, I feel like that's a long series, bro. If we have to face them, especially in the first round, they scare me. Timberwolves scare me. Thanks for the super chat, Deadpool. Deadpool Chinese, that's your name? Need to do something to Dort. Next game, next defender. Whoa. We don't condone that. Thank you for the super chat, but we don't have to kill him. Lou Dort does do a lot of like, I won't say he's dirty. I won't go as far as say he's dirty, but he does a lot of like weird stuff, man. Like just holding on to players. It feels so many of their players were holding on to us. It felt like that was like a strategy, bro. That's what makes it gross. It felt like that's unethical basketball. It felt like a strategy. Like they practiced this. So gross. Landlord from Alabama, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Can we beat them in a series?" I think so. OKC, yeah. Dude, we're 3-0 on them. Keep in mind, both teams like OKC Thunder. This is what makes it scary. Oklahoma City Thunder just won a championship. Where they are right now, they have chemistry together. They're not going to get better than what they are right now. They won a championship. SGA is phenomenal. They play the same way every game. There's no like OKC weakness. You get what I'm saying? There's no, oh, they need to work on these things and then they'll be okay. It's more so a mental thing and having to go against Wemby. Like it's and it's so much talent that the Spurs have too that's coming at them that can match their energy. But also the thing that makes the Spurs scary is you look at the Thunder, and they're really great, as far as outside shooting, and that's where they can get a lot of their points. You play through SGA, then you get a lot of outside shooting. Spurs have great perimeter defenders, but we also get to the rim like crazy. Like we attack you, and we also got a few guys that can hit some threes. So I just think the way that we play, just our style, is a little bit more physical than them. And then we have, I think, player for player, a little bit more talent, right? Like I don't think anyone on their team other than SGA is better than Fox, right? Like I don't want to, if you want to say SGA and Wemby are at the same level, that's fine. I'm not going to complain. SGA is great. I don't agree. I think Wemby's better, but if someone wanted to say that, that's fine. Outside of that, no one on their team is better than Fox. So player for player, I think the Spurs are better. I think our playing style is a little bit tougher. And I think that our mentality and how we approach these games are a little bit tougher, right? So I think that the Spurs definitely could beat them. But what makes it scary is that the Thunder, aren't going to get that much better. The Spurs just now got healthy with everyone together. We will be getting better as the season goes on. That's the scary part. We will be getting better. So while we're getting better and we're improving, OKC is just kind of the bar right now. Like, they're going to stay at that bar. They're not going to get better this season. They're going to stay at that bar. But we just played them 3 times, not that far away from each other, all in the month of December, and they couldn't adjust. We beat them in the cup. Okay. It's the cup. It's win or go home. Emotions are high. We're seeing each other for the first time this year. All right. Let's go into the next one. You play at San Antonio. Okay. You beat them by 20, the largest margin that they've lost this season, but we're at home. Now you got them 2 days from now. Like, this is basically feel like a playoff series. You got them 2 days from now. All right. You're at home. What you going to do? You got the crowd booing at us. The OKC came into this game with a lot of physicality, a lot of toughness, and it wasn't enough. The Spurs kept that game close. They continued to have a little bit of a lead on you, and they just opened it up as the season went on, or the game went on. You made your adjustments, and it still wasn't enough. I think it's a personnel thing with us. We're just too good. I know I sound like really cocky here, but like, what do I say? Anyways, I think that's all the yapping I'll do for this game, at least for this segment. But we look great. We look scary. And they should be very afraid. Yeah. I'd be shocked if we win a championship. I'm not going to hold you. We got a long season to go. Everyone needs to remain healthy. It would be crazy if we won, but it doesn't mean it's off the table. It doesn't mean it's off the table, okay? Anyways, I'm just laughing at those thank you for the super chat. Chris, he says, I'm just laughing at those terrible deals given to Chet and J-Dub. Like, how can they operate with 3 max contracts? Go Spurs. Spurs fan from Japan. I noticed you was from Japan because I saw that yen. I'm actually moving to Japan closer to the end of next year. So maybe I'll see you out there. Anyways, great stuff. You're moving to Japan in February? February. Oh, no, that would be... Are you about to be an ALT? You're going to be an ALT? And we all going to Japan. How is this guy okay with what Dort did? Who's okay with what Dort did? Are you talking about me? You're not talking about me, are you? I'm moving to Japan tomorrow. Okay, we're all just lying now. You don't lose to a game time. You don't lose to a team 3 times in a row in a short span without them being better than you. Oh, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he said that? Ooh. Cap, stop capping. I don't care about the playoff experience stuff, bro. I know it's a thing. And that's actually why I don't want to go against the Timberwolves first round. So it is a thing. I'm not going to sit here and be like, it doesn't mean anything. It's a thing. It matters. But kind of what you said, we have so much depth. And you have Wemby, who has been battle tested. Like, he's been to huge games in his career. The Olympics being one. Just multitude of big games he's been in. You have Harrison Barnes, who's been in these situations. You have Fox, who led his team to the playoffs. You have Castle, who's won a championship with UConn not that long ago. Like, these guys have been in big games. In each big game that I've seen them in this season, they have shown out, or they've come to play. Even against the Knicks, I think that we probably could have used some other defenders coming out the bench. Carter Bryant, Sohan, we didn't utilize any of it. That was kind of silly. But even in that game, I thought the Spurs came to play and we had a pretty decent lead most of the game. So I don't think that it's going to be something that I'm really worried about. My wife and I will be going to Japan for 10th wedding anniversary. That's awesome, man. Japan is great. It's a lot of xenophobia, though, to be honest with you. Can you praise Harper? He's going to be so good. Bro, Harper is so good to the point where, like, and thank you for the super chat. He is so, wait, let me say your name. What was your name? Art Lopez. Dylan Harper is incredible. I kind of earlier in the stream, I brought up how they were saying, like, Ron Harper, he ain't his daddy yet. What are we talking about? He's better than Ron Harper. Like, Ron Harper is the man. Like, he got championships. He was a great role player, did his thing, defense, all that. But to say he ain't his dad, like, they don't even play anything alike. And Dylan Harper is just better. I think his dad would even admit that his son is better than him. Your mic is a little low. It is? Hold on. How's that? That's probably better. What about Connor Brown after the draft? You were hyping him crazy. What about him? Wait. This season, I don't think I ever said that Carter Bryant is going to be, like, phenomenal this season. I felt like he's going to need playing time. But yeah, he got a lot of aspects of his game that he's going to be crazy good, bro. He's so athletic. He has a good shooting stroke. Great defender, like really great defender. Yeah, he's going to be nasty. He just isn't playing. I wish they would just send him to the G League so he can get some reps. When Castle and Cornet connect for dunk, it should be called White Castle. Wow. You said he gonna be G League? Yeah, I hope he does. I hope he gets to the G League. Like, I really think he needs some reps. Unfortunately, he's not getting any reps. That's the only reason. Like, you can put him in the G League and still, like, have him on the bench during these games. I just wish he would get. I just wish he would get more, like, touches. He would kill in the G League, by the way. All right, guys. Let's see here. Is there any post games? Because you guys know I love my post games. We got a post game. Literally 6 minutes ago. Guys. Oh, I hit my finger. We got a post game. Let's take a look at what Mitch Johnson has to say. I'm looking at this thumbnail. He looks so happy. Before we take a look, big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Link in the description. Just use promo code CLAN. You get a 100% match up to $100. But there's also a social media section here in which you can see breaking news, injury reports, updates. Oh, I love that picture. Oh, I love that picture. But yeah, if you guys want to check it out, you can watch play-by-plays, all that good stuff. Just head on over to Sleeper and take a look at what they got here. I think I'm going back a little too far. Anyways, if you guys are interested, go check it out. Link in the description. So let's take a look at what our boy here had to say. Mitch Johnson. Hold on, let me put it on react.
It's quite a Christmas day.
Hold on, dang it. Like dropping stuff. Put my earphone in. All right, coach. Break it down. By the way, I don't think I have to preface by saying this. Mitch Johnson has been doing a very good job. And big shout out to Wemby for allowing, just like we said back in the day with Duncan, right? But allowing a coach to coach him, because the way that he chewed out Wemby and Harper the other game was actually beautiful to see. But yeah, Wemby a troll too, celebrating Chet missed free throws. It's a mental thing. He's been playing Chet his whole life. Okay? He's been playing Chet his whole life. He knows what gets Chet's GOAT. Is that like a thing? That's what people say, right? He's been doing this a long time. In every game, he does it. You could see with the free throw thing, he does it more so with Chet. When he fouled him hard. Like, he pushing him to the ground. Like, he's doing, like, little things. Not trying to injure him, but he's doing little things to get him. And he gets in his head. You know, Chet, I even think back on the Rookie of the Year stuff when there was that discussion, like, who's going to be Rookie of the Year? And Wemby came in and he took it personal, and he was dunking on Chet. He was flexing on him, and Chet woke up in that game, and then he started playing better, right? But since then, Wemby has gotten stronger. Wemby has gotten better as a player, right? Like, there's nothing you can do. I think he just demoralizes him. Chet is a very good player, mind you, but he's just not on the same level as Wemby as Wemby at all. And lots of players aren't, but Chet definitely isn't. Like, there's tiers away from Wemby. But it is what it is.
What'd you make of this past start?
I thought he was locked in from the get-go, obviously. The box score would represent that, but he carried us through stretches of that game where it got...
I think he's talking about Fox. Because Fox was like, he had like 29 points.
A little shaky, and he's probably one of the few guys in our team that's played in an environment like this with circumstances surrounding a game like this. And I thought he just was a very steady hand when we needed it most. When we needed a bucket, his defense was...
I'm going to be a toxic fan. I'm going to be a really toxic fan. I always tell you guys not to do this, but look, I do it a little bit too. I try to tell you don't psychoanalyze anything or like don't see like a player's demeanor in short periods and make a judgment off of it. I'm going to be honest with you. It was so nice. It was so nice seeing De'Aaron Fox not chuckle and hee ha ha with the other team. I'm sorry. It gets on my nerves sometimes. Like, that's too much smiling. All right. This is serious business. Obviously it doesn't mean anything, but my toxic fan comes out sometimes. It was nice to see him just locked in and no smiles or very little. Bell to add. Go Spurs go. Shout out to you, Clan. Shout out to you, Covis Lookout. Thanks for a super chat. Oh, crap. There we go.
Phenomenal. And that was without being getting to it much outside himself. To be that aggressive and to be in that attack mode for that long on both sides of the ball is one, a credit to his fitness level and his stamina and all the work he puts in. And then just the discipline to not get too outside of himself when we did a few times. And some of the other guys on the team I thought was phenomenal. I think that's obviously, why he's an all-star.
What did you learn from your guys from this, 3 games against the Thunder?
I think we learned that when you play a team multiple times in short stretches, there's a familiarity, obviously, that it breeds. And when you play a team of this caliber, the details are that much more magnified.
Dude, you cannot make any mistake. Every small mistake, they capitalize off of it, just about. Sometimes we got away with some stuff, but that's why those Castle turnovers in any game against like a bad team, it wouldn't have felt that, like he said, magnified. But against this team, it seemed like the pendulums like switched so quickly just from those couple turnovers in the fourth from Castle. So like, you got to be so careful. Even the Fox one, we got away with, I think they didn't score on that drive, but yeah, you got to be careful, man, because they could easily switch the game on you. But luckily we have Wemby and Fox who were just not going to let that happen. But yeah, you got to be so careful. Yeah, you got to be so careful. But that was actually what I loved about this game is there was nothing where I felt like the Spurs just beat them, right? We were disciplined and we just beat them. That's it. They were disciplined, we were disciplined, and we just beat them. And a lot of these games this season, sometimes it's felt like, oh, we were just more talented. And sometimes it felt like, well, mostly just that. Like a lot of games just felt like, oh, we were just more talented. But we still shot ourselves in the foot where we got away with it. This one was not that. The Spurs were locked in.
because of the familiarity. And I thought we did a good job, and I thought we did a phenomenal job as the game progressed at adhering to those details and nuances.
Coach, you know, heading into this game, obviously, like you just talked about, obviously, last 3 games you guys have played against them obviously went the way that they did. Well, now with this win, you know, what was kind of I guess you could say, was there any different mentality from the team that you saw? Obviously, it was a Christmas win, but you know, against this team specifically.
Any different mentality from them? I think that they played more physical, not us. We played the same way. I thought the Thunder played more physical against this one. It didn't mean anything. Didn't matter. Still lost by 15.
Specifically to you know, kind of clean the floor with them. What has this been like?
I think the one thing about this game obviously was it was a true road game. We played them on a neutral site. We played them at home, and so you can expect the natural variables of what the road brings, which is a hostile environment, which is you're going to have to minimize runs and maximize your runs. And a lot of times there's, again, a lot of details and nuance in what goes into that. You know, when we had the game get away from us, our fundamentals dropped. Our game plan execution wasn't as sharp.
Yep.
And they're going to make you pay for that every single time.
Yep.
And so I think that's what this game produces more than the other 2 games that we played them.
This is obviously like a team that in the third quarter.
It was just so satisfying because at times it felt like we were at home.
Especially obviously like to go on those runs and really get into rhythm. And obviously these last 3 games, you guys have been able to beat the aggressive.
OKC has had the second easiest schedule, by the way, so their record is better than they actually are. Even yet and still, bro, that's a really great record. I mean, I've watched OKC this season quite a bit, and my God, they are really good. Their style of basketball can beat just about anybody. So I'm not gonna like throw that out there and be like, oh, well, they're just not as good. What's do you know ours? Like, what's our schedule? How's our schedule been? I feel like we had a pretty tough schedule. Do you know where we land, Poet? I'm curious.
On that end of the ball, what do you feel like that has come from this team? And you know, what have you seen from your bench point of view? You guys came out in the second half.
The guys are working their butts off, and they're trying to execute the game plan. You know, this year is a lot of firsts for our group. We haven't been together, so I don't want to make it more than it is. So sometimes our approach is, let's try to go in with the right approach and see how it goes. And we have a game plan that we're trying to execute. We have adjustments that we may move to if we see fit. And we expect the guys to put their energy in the right places and do it together, and they're doing a great job of that.
You said it's a bunch of firsts for this group this season, but when you look at Harper, what impresses you the most about how he's been able to handle everything that's been thrown at him being so early in his career?
His poise and his composure. You know, he doesn't change his body language, facial expressions. He just plays.
This is what we said. This is what I said earlier. Like, oh wait, no. We were talking about Castle. Never mind. I was saying about Castle. Never mind. Dylan Harper too. I was just saying like Castle was a winner, but sorry.
The game, and to be able to do that at his age with the lack of experience and on the job training at this level he's had is very impressive. And I think it allows him to move from a play that might not have went his way or even a mistake he made.
I haven't seen a Spurs guard get to the rim the way that Dylan Harper can since Tony Parker. I really mean that. He was mad at Harper today? No, he was mad at him the other day. That's good.
They make to then on to the next thing and make a play very quickly because he is so talented and so capable, and I think that's probably what's most impressive.
Mitch, crucial part of this game, second quarter, it seems like your defensive strategy is let's have Steph just press the...
No, I'm not taking anything away from Thunder. I'm just speaking facts. Yeah, that they had the second easiest schedule. Yeah, no, I got you. You know, I know you're not taking anything away. I guess I'm just curious on where other teams land on that. It's just their style of play. Like they can still beat anybody. They're winning games they're supposed to. So Even that game against the Wolves, man, they could have won that one. But man, those refs were really on their side. I'm not gonna lie to you. What? I swear. I read his lips and he subbed out Harper. It was in the fourth. Oh, okay.
Hell out of SGA at half court, have Victor sag off the corner so he can form that wall, and then they take the corner threes. They miss all those corner threes. How do you, I guess, decide to take kind of like big gamble defensive swings like that to try to get the ball out of a star player's hand? And
that's the funny thing. Somebody in the chat said Thunder post-game podcast crying that they lost because they couldn't hit open shots, not because of the Spurs defense. Well, why did they lose the other 2 times? Was it also just open shots? In this game in particular, everyone knows you don't necessarily leave Caruso open, but when the Spurs found that he was missing a lot of his shots, they started leaving him open. So yeah, you got open shots, but you mostly got open shots because you've been missing them before. So like you were missing your shots and the Spurs started leaving you a little bit more open, right? Focusing more on SGA. But if that were to happen and we couldn't double team the way that we were double teaming, then you wouldn't have had those open shots. We have good perimeter defenders. We would have just said, okay, SGA beat us. That's it. We would be like, okay, we're going to put Castle on you. We're going to put Harper on you. Beat us. Shoot, might even put Wemby on you. Beat us.
how do you feel like your team is consistent enough throughout the night to be able to take advantage of those moments?
I think, you know, the first part of your question, I think the answer would be there are guys in this league that are too good to play one-on-one. And if you do that, you have to be willing to run the risk of that player having a big night. Now, that is sometimes the approach because you're trying to minimize the others around that player.
That's what the Spurs did with Luka. But Luka is one of those very few players where like he can just straight up beat you by himself. That's what makes me a little nervous about the Lakers, but I'm not really that scared about them. But yeah, they took that approach with Luka though. They just said beat us. I don't think they doubled Luka a lot.
And that's a conscious decision I think every coach goes into when you play, you know, an offensive engine like Shai. Part of that, you know, going back to now what you're talking about with the corner and the ball finding certain people there, that's, I think, also, I don't want to speak.
Doc Rivers' voice. I call him Batman. I think you got the Batman going on.
For Mark, but part of their game plan to attack us trying to make Shai play in a crowd. Because they could put their players wherever they want. We're going to show Shai a crowd was what we were going to do tonight. And so, you know, they missed some shots that those guys will make and have made and will make in the future. And that's part of the game. You're not going to hold any team to 14 points. And so I think part of the approach is, you know, over time, what are you willing to kind of go down with the ship with? And what are you going to commit to and not overreact to if you feel like the operation is successful, even though the outcome may not be exactly what you want. And that's, I think, part of our job as a staff in helping the guys of encouraging that when it doesn't feel good and then holding them accountable when they're not staunch on the game plan execution.
Your offense, I think before Victor went down, you were even talking about we're trying to slowly grow over the course of the year. That seemed to happen pretty fast. Like, it looks like this offense looks and acts like the offense you were describing back in training camp. And then Victor comes back and I think he's trying to see how he could fit while like really putting a stamp on the game, but he seems to be willing to kind of fit in and go with the flow. How have you seen him?
Sorry, I was being stupid. I got a picture of Batman, but it won't come over here because I didn't change the settings on my laptop. I wish I was back home.
Do that, and what has that done for your team to be able to start to really take the next step forward?
Yeah. I think in terms of Victor, you know, it's very well known he would like to play more minutes. He would like to have everything that comes with that, which is shots and opportunities, and he's more than capable, and he'll continue to grow in that regard. And I think his willingness to just play the game and execute whatever the game is calling upon has been the most impressive. And that can be screening, spacing, drawing two people and letting the next guy take advantage of the advantage. And I think that is what will continue to grow over time, is just the pattern recognition of what are they trying to take away from us or dictate on their terms, and then how can he help.
One thing you love about Wemby too is I always bring this up because this was what stood out the most to me when he first got here, but the amount of humbleness that he has and never pointing the finger. You know, it's always like, what can I do better? Like, he expects the most out of his teammates, but he's not sitting there just pointing the fingers. He's not toxic. I mean, and the story that always comes to my mind, and like no one ever talks about it because it was like a training camp interview, like some one-off training camp interview with Dom Barlow. But Dominique Barlow, they asked him about, like, you know, playing next to Wemby, how's that been so far? And he said he was so shocked because he was in the gym working out and Wemby came in and Wemby asked him so many questions. He was asking questions about the NBA and asking him all these questions, like absorbing anything Don Barlow had to say. And he was like, I couldn't believe that Wembanyama was asking me questions about the NBA. And he's like, I was undrafted and he wants to know everything. Yeah, he's never like, I'm better than anybody else. He just wants he just wants to put his team in a position to win. I love Wemby as a player, man. Yeah, he's so much more. Like, the media sees, like, oh, he goes to the monk retreat. They see all these like big, extravagant things to roll with, you know, narratives to roll with Wemby, and it's like, oh, this is entertaining. Oh, unethical, ethical basketball, stuff like that. But like, that story is what stands out to me the most about Wemby. I think that's crazy. Special mindset he has. He's a superstar, bro. Like, superstars don't usually think like this. And not only do superstars not think like this, I would say like lottery players most of the time don't think like this. Like, I like Shaedon Sharpe coming into the league. He was so cocky. He didn't even know who was on rosters, bro. Like, they asked, was it the Spurs? They asked him about like playing for the Spurs. He didn't even know who was on the roster, bro. He did not care. Yeah, players just aren't like that. They're not built like Wemby.
Manipulate things and create advantages for himself and our team. And I think he's done a great job of balancing that while still trying to leave his imprints on the game, like you said.
That play he had late where he kind of dribbled into the corner right at HB, and you're like, where's he going to go?
What can we improve from here? Honestly, just ball movement, finishing games. Sometimes we can get a little sloppy as far as taking care of the ball. Probably just stuff like that. I don't know how much better, you said shooting percentage. I don't know how much better our 3-point shooting can really come from here, but you know, hopefully, I mean, we got other talent on the team. I mean, that will be a way to improve right there. If you can find a way to manage to implement Carter Bryant or Sohan, I think that can make you better. But right now, like, that's what I would say, just playing together. They still don't have, like, they have really good chemistry, but I noticed that Mitch Johnson is starting to add in more and more sets. So they're kind of building on it. So they're just getting better and better.
With this, and he just hands it to HB and cuts immediately, and they go over the top. Is that the kind of like improvisational stuff that you think that's kind of like the ideal unleash version of Victor, where he's just? I thought Castle's turnovers were in the fourth. Am I tripping? It was the third. I just one was the fourth. I kept saying it was the fourth this whole time. Sorry if I was wrong. Kind of navigating the floor and playing off of whatever's around him.
Yeah, I definitely think he'll definitely be able to use his creativity in a variety of ways because he is so skilled and so unique, and he's going to see so many different types of defenses. And so, again, that'll be something that over time, as the guys continue to learn him and he learns the guys, as you see with some of these super talented people like Shai, Jokic, Doncic, when their teammates continue to learn them, they do things that they probably never played with someone like that's done before. So it takes time to anticipate some of that stuff.
There you go. Really good stuff. Really great stuff. Let me pause that. All right. Well, really great stuff. Obviously, the San Antonio Spurs are looking great. Mitch Johnson is doing a great job, and we'll see where things go from here. Who's even next? I don't even know. I was so hooked on this Thunder game, guys. I don't even know who we play next. We play the Jazz on Saturday, so we'll be ready for that one. Then we got the Cavs. That should be a tough one. We got a couple tough ones. We got the Cavs, and then we got the Knicks. Both of which are at home, though. So that's good. But got some pretty good ones coming up soon. A Lakers one on January 7th should be a sight to see. Anyways, really great stuff. Really great stuff. Do we have... We got another post game. We'll do the Fox. I'm sure they're going to talk to Wemby too, but we'll do Fox and we'll call it a day. It's Christmas, right? It's Christmas. I'm sure y'all got stuff to do. All right. So we listened to what our coach had to say. Now let's listen to what De'Aaron Fox had to say. I don't know what he's rocking on his head, but I'll show you guys that in 1 second. Before we do,
from the get-go, what was
stop that. Before we do, big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Link in the description. Just use promo code CLAN. You get 100% match up to $100. But if you go over here to the NBA section, is that LeBron as Santa? More than 20, yeah. But yeah, as you go over here, you just do the more, less as far as what you think is going to happen in those games, and you just roll with it, man. And like I said, you use that promo code CLAN, and you get 100% match up to $100. So go check out Sleeper. Link in the description. If you support the sponsors, you're supporting the channel. So I appreciate all the love that you guys continue to share over my way. So let's take a look. De'Aaron Fox is short.
it about this day, this game, this atmosphere that had you in that state?
Oh, I mean, you try to be as locked in as possible, obviously, for every game. But, this being my first Christmas game, I just wanted to have a good game and come out with a win. And, I think we did that, and we did it from the jump. Outside of the first couple possessions, I think we were really good throughout the course of the game.
What 3-0 against the defending champs? Does this send a statement? It's a super long season, but does this send a statement?
It's 50 games left. As a team that wants to be able to contend, obviously you have to be good through the course of the year. Most champions don't come from a team that's a seventh or sixth or fifth seed. It's usually those top four seeds that are truly the contenders, and we have to continue to build day by day. We're not thinking about what's going to happen at the end of the year, but we look at whatever team is in front of us and we try to win that game.
I'm doing a feature on Harper, so I wanted to ask you about what you've seen from him in this rookie season thus far and how he's been able to handle the transition.
Dylan's been great. When he's out there, he seems like a vet playing. I always talk about going from high school to college. For a lot of guys, or I guess it'd be a smaller percentage of the population who are one and dones, the jump from high school to college isn't that hard. It's not a big jump. But going from college to the NBA, you're playing a totally different game of basketball. And I think his transition has been smooth. And obviously he didn't play that much in summer league, and he didn't get the whole training camp. And then he goes down early in the season. But every minute, every second that he's out there, it seems like a vet's playing.
From your rookie season up
He's
into
so freaking good. He is so freaking good. And like I said, the way that he gets to the rim, I ain't seen it since Tony Parker, bro. I love it so much. And he knows when to attack as well. There's been some games where I was like, dude, you need to attack. What are you doing? What are we waiting around for? But most of the time, he knows when to attack. He's very timely in how he goes about a game. He has good. What I'm trying to say is he has good pace. He goes at his own pace. He has really good pace.
So now, how do you feel like your voice has grown as a leader?
Oh, I'm a totally different guy than I was. I came in at 19 and I just turned 28. This is my 9th year in the league, and Obviously, my game has changed, but just understanding of the game has also changed. So I'm able to help younger guys or like my big or someone on the wing, just being able to play together and telling them what I see and just adjustments that we can make. It's definitely grown, but the biggest part is once you understand the game, I think your voice kind of comes after that.
You guys keep saying stuff like, oh, it's just another game and not getting ahead of yourselves. There's got to be at least some moment at some point during the game or after the game where you're like, wow, we just beat the defending champions 3 times in a row. Like, does that moment ever happen for you before you compartmentalize it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that happens when you play against any team who has been as dominant as the way that OKC was, truthfully, last year, the season before that, and the way that it's not just the fact that they were the number 1 seed or the fact that they won the championship. It's the fact of how they beat teams. The largest margin of victory, I think, last year was the largest in history. Like, it's not just that they win games. It's the way that they win games, and they just win.
That's what I was saying, right? Like, when Chatter earlier mentioned, like, they have had a pretty easy schedule. It's how they win. It's how they play. Like, you could beat anybody the way that you play. It's just where we match up so well with them. And these are the 2 teams that are basically going to be carrying the West for a long period of time. And both teams have a slew of draft picks. This is why I'm not just so quick to just be like, yes, give up all these draft picks for a star, right? Like, I'm not that quick. This is another reason why I want us to find a way to make this work with Sohan as well, right? Like, I don't know what'll happen by the end of the season or anything like that, what he'll get offered or anything, but that's why I want to work with what we got, because we got quite a bit of talent on this team already. And then you go into these drafts and get guys, and that's how you're going to have to do it. But yeah, I don't see the Thunder going out of their way to make a huge move. Maybe one day they will. Maybe they'll figure out that Wemby is so dominant that they have to do something drastic. But as it stands right now, neither one of these teams are going to do that. We have a lot of draft picks, a lot of draft capital. And you can continue to grow this team, as it goes on. So I'm not worried at all.
Teams down, so just being able to withstand that and withstand the runs that they have, and then go on runs of our own. I think that's the more impressive.
Wemby should never start again. It's saving his health. Calm down. I don't think you can always be able to do this. Okay, where he comes off the bench. That would be crazy. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? Potentially the greatest player to ever wear a Spurs jersey or wear an NBA jersey in general is coming off the bench. That would be crazy.
Impressive part, and that's what we're happy about. Not only just winning the game, but the way that we've been winning, the way that we've won the last 2 games. That's what we're more so happy about. But we continue to focus on ourselves. That's 1 game, and I think we could play it. I don't know if we had them 4 times on the schedule normal this year, but we could end up playing them 5 times this year. And then, if we do.
I think we do have them 2 more times, don't we? Don't we, chat? Yeah, you got them January 13th, so that's not that far away. And then you got them February 4th. So yeah. Yeah. We got them 2 more times. Dude, if the Spurs beat them 5 times, that would be so sad for them. Oh crap, what just happened? What the heck? Did it go all the way back?
Locked in from the get-go. What was it about this day, this game,
on the wing, just being able to play together and telling them what I see and just adjustments that we can make.
Not getting ahead of yourselves. There's got to be at least some moment at some point during the game or after the game where you're like, wow, we just beat the defending champions 3 times in a row. Like, does that moment ever happen for you before you compartmentalize it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that happens when you play against any team who has been as dominant as the way that OKC was, truthfully, last year, the season before that, and the way that it's not just the fact that the teams, the largest margin of victory, I think last year was the largest in history. Like, it's not just that they win games, it's the way that they win games, and they just wear teams down. So just being able to withstand that and withstand the runs that they have, and then go on runs of our own, I think that's the more impressive part, and that's what we're.
That dunk he had, Parker ain't dunking like Harper. Man, Parker dunked like 1 time in his career. I just meant like how he's getting to the rim at will, and the way that he utilizes his body and the tort. That's not the word I'm looking for. Distort. word am I looking for? Just how he maneuvers his body and his craftiness. Like, it definitely reminds me of Tony Parker and how quick he gets it out of his hands when he gets near the rim.
Happy about not only just winning the game, but the way that we've been winning, the way that we've won the last 2 games. That's what we're more so happy about. But we continue to focus on ourselves. You know, that's one game, and I think we could play it. I don't know if we had them 4 times on the schedule normal this year, but we could end up playing them 5 times this year. And then, you know, if we do meet in the playoffs, but that's 4 games, it's 5 games out of 82. So we're not more so worried about those more than others.
Last one, Darren, just first Christmas game, and how important was it for you to have a good Christmas game today for everyone?
Oh, I mean, it was extremely important. I mean, I just want
This is his first Christmas game? I guess so. You played for the Kings for so long.
to help my team, you know, help put my team in position to win. And it started early, and my team continued to get me in the right spots, and then for me, just make shots. They believe in me, I believe in myself, and I think more so of what we did was just defensively making it tough on them, and getting out and running, and it made offense for us a little bit easier.
Good stuff. Great stuff. The torque. Okay, that's what I meant to say. Torque his body. Yeah. I love Fox. He's so steady for us. Fox is great. But like I said, we have so much depth that even if Fox have off games, somebody else is going to step up. Like, it literally will take 3 or 4 of our, no, I'll just say 3 of our go-to options to all simultaneously be having bad games for the Spurs to look pretty rough. But even then, you might have Champagny, you know, who steps up and hits some big shots for you. You might have Devin Vassell, who I think is more so a 4th option, and start hitting big shots for you. And maybe it doesn't matter as much, you know. But you have a lot of weapons. Castle, Harper, Fox, Wemby. I mean, and Wemby gives you easy shots as well. Cornette gives you a lot of easy shots. So it's just good. It's just a good team. Really good team. All right, guys. I am going to hop off because check it out. The San Antonio Spurs, we have the, what do we have next? We have the Jazz, and that's on Saturday. So I will be going live every game. And I mean, I'll be going live every game anyways, but I won't be back at my place till like January, I think. January 2nd, I think is when I'm deciding to go back there. I might go back on New Year's Day, honestly. Yeah, I might go back on New Year's Day. So, yeah, so we're going to be at this crib for a little minute still. But I'm super excited. Spurs look great. Don't sleep on the Jazz. Oops, sorry, Wes. Who have the Jazz beat recently? Biggest team they beat. Like, they were really close against the Lakers. They beat the Mavs. Let's see. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm sleeping on them a little bit. Okay, they beat the Rockets. Rockets fans been real quiet lately. Where they been? They were talking so much stuff last season. Where Rockets fans at? The way that the Spurs play, there's no reason for them not to be around this spot the entire season. Like, just the way that we play, and the way that we're winning is huge. Beating them was crazy. It's a crazy great win. Thunder has 5 losses this season, and 3 of them came from the hands of the San Antonio Spurs. Anyways, I'll get with you guys later. I'm going to hop off. I hope everyone has a great rest of your holidays. I will see. Say Wemby cussed. Am I logged in? No, I'm not even logged into my stuff. I ain't gonna trip about it. Anyways, I'll give it you guys on Saturday. I appreciate all the love. Have a great rest of your holidays. if you would like to support, just make sure that you like these videos, you subscribe, all that good stuff, and join in with the live streams, man. So I go live, or I try to go live. I think this season we have gone live after every game. So yeah, but go live every single game. So just hop on, let's talk. And if you don't care about any of that, you don't want to be on the live, like I take the segments from the live streams and post them anyways. But yep, everyone have happy holidays, Merry Xmas, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. I'll give it to you guys later. Great win. I'm so happy. And we're dominating, right? So excuse me as I get off here and continue to make fun of Thunder fans. His post game is up now. Oh gosh, you're really tempting me. Gosh, you're tempting me.
What did you make of this fast start just to play overall?
De'Aaron's fast start?
Yes.
No, I mean, it's good to get us going. We had trouble getting stops at the beginning of the game, but at least he was last 2 weeks. What did you learn most? 10 days, maybe. So we learned a lot on the tactical side. But I think I don't want to say too much about it. I want to keep some for us. But we definitely got some intelligence, of course, after playing them so much.
Is there anything you've learned schematically about coming off the bench that you might not have seen start with?
Brings a different perspective on the game for sure. And also, yeah, I mean,
I ain't gonna mess with it.
it's just
I ain't gonna mess with it. Anyways, I'll give it to you guys later. I don't want to get wrapped into it. Yeah, I think the Fox one was good enough. All right, everyone have a good night.